Hi everybody, I'm John Finn and welcome to another review. Now why are you having to look at my face when I usually just use my hands, my torn up nasty hands, to do an unboxing and review? Well, one, this isn't an unboxing. This is only going to be a review, and I have a little bit of a story that I want to tell before I actually show you the item. So I decided I wanted a particular WWF championship belt, and I didn't want to pay the $500 or $600 that WWE wants to charge for those things. So I bought one of the bootlegs, like you do. I got it on eBay, and when I searched for it, I tried to search, I narrowed the search to sellers that ship from within the United States or something like that. And I found one. I paid less than half than I did for the Fandu big gold belt that I have. And as soon as I got it all paid for, I saw that it was shipping from Pakistan. So I got one of the Pakistani bootlegs that are kind of the bane of the belt makers. Sorry, guys. But a lot of people can't afford the really nice official belts. And I think, these things are beautiful and they belong in people's collections. Collect what you like. You know my motto. But we're going to take a closer look at this. I got it finally. The reason it's not an unboxing is because I unwrapped this thing the moment I got the box inside my house. I opened this thing right up. So, here we go. You ready? Yeah, it's the Winged Eagle. This is probably my favorite belt design of all time. It's between this and the Andre 87, but I think this one has to take the cake. I have so many memories that are tied to this belt in terms of watching wrestling pay-per-views, seeing it live. This belt is just burned into my memory, this design, I should say. Now, you look at it at a glance, it looks beautiful, and for the most part it is. The strap is a little bit more stiff than the Fandu belt. It's a lot more stiff than the Fandu belt. The Fandu belt is floppy as hell. But I love that. This one, it's pretty clear it's got some kind of cardboard inside that's keeping it stiff, which is fine because it does make it sit on the shelf really easily, and I like that. But it is a lot more stiff. It doesn't have as many buttons either, and they're not as widely spaced. Like the belt isn't as wide as the big gold belt, which that kind of makes sense. All right, so I'm going to put this in my lap here. And we got to talk about the straps some more. We're going to do that first before we look at the plates. And then we'll go into the plates. I'm going to take the camera, though, off of the stand. And we're going to flip this camera around so you can... All right, so this is the gold-tipped end of the strap. And you can already see some kind of previews of some problems we're going to have with the belt as we go through. You can see there's kind of some bubbling here of the paint, especially as you get closer to the edges. But on the strap itself, you've got some pretty nice tooling. This doesn't look terrible. Sorry, my mouth is just going dry. The buttons look fine. There's nothing special about them. The texturing, I think the texturing looks pretty dang good. Now, it is kind of fraying along these edges here. So like right through here, you can see a little bit of rough edge, but that's not that bad. We come in on the WWF logo. This is the classic logo I grew up with. You can see all kinds of pitting and scratches and some bubbling and stuff like that going all through the logo. So that's something you should keep in mind if you're going to buy one of these types of belts. You can see the tooling, though, that goes all along the strap. This goes... Ooh, it's kind of rough right there, isn't it? Oh, that's just where it's been... That's where it bends, okay. But you can see the tooling goes all the way around. It's pretty good quality for the amount that you pay for one of these. It isn't terrible looking. But we're kind of skirting around the really big thing. Let's take a look at this main plate. Okay, so in terms of the overall design, this is pretty damn spot on to the original belt. I don't have a copy of it right here, but just from memory, this is really, really close to what I remember growing up with. Although I remember mostly the complete gold one. I like the dual plated look a lot better, so I got one that has the gold and the silver. But you can probably see we already have some problems over here on this bar. A lot of bubbling, a lot of paint crinkling. Looks like it's going to come up pretty fast. Maybe there's some rust under there. I don't know what that is. And as we come into the main plate, you can see similar issues with bubbles, pitting, little streak scratches right there. You've got some warping underneath the paint there, all the way down this bar. The gold silver on this flourish isn't quite right. It doesn't look like. It looks like the gold is only on part of it, not all of it. Now, I don't know if that's what the original belt is like, but I have a feeling that it's not. As we come down and we check out the Wrestling Champion, you can see all kinds of uneven paint, little more pit marks. There's a little chip in the paint there. Yeah, so if this was a $500 belt, this would be absolutely unacceptable. But this was a lot less than $500. Like, lot less. We'll come up on this side now of the bar, and you can see more kind of crinkles there in the paint. More pitting here. Some funky coloring on the wrestlers, but that could be the way the belt is designed itself. I really like the way the feathers look too. I don't know if that's original, but I like it, the way there's silver and gold within those feathers. The heavyweight looks pretty okay. There's that line between the V there isn't. They're both kind of. Well, they're all kind of bleeding over. The only one that looks like it's completely separated is the A and the Y. That black line is solid, where on these it kind of merges with the other side of it. But it has that beautiful WWF logo, so we're able to forgive a lot. I feel like maybe this F isn't quite as tall as it should be. I may be wrong on that, but I feel like it's not. Side plates, same basic story. You can see as you get closer to edges of the paint where it's a little bit rough. I mean, this has a general, just really rough paint application to it. The metal plates look really roughly done. Not a lot of detail, like maybe they were poured in a mold, cooled too fast or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of issues with it. If you were going to try to pass this off as like a ring worn or a legitimate product of the WWE, mainly because of the WWF logo. But, sorry, I'm not the booty man. I'm not Ed Leslie. But as a whole product, man, it's real pretty. I'm going to go to a little bit of a wide shot here. See some of the wiring. It is really pretty. I like it a lot. So let me flip it up and talk. Some final thoughts on this thing. Okay, so I wish it was the official licensed version, because I'm sure that's going to look amazing. Except it's going to have the WWE logo, so that is something that's significant. This belt overall is pretty cool. Now you can see it doesn't really have any depth to it either. The main plate is pretty dang thin, and there's no. I mean, there is a little bit of depth. I mean, just a little bit. I don't even think I could get it to register on here, but like between these in here, the gold is raised a bit higher than the mirrored back, but nothing like the big gold belt with all of its flourishes and things like that. But again, this was less than half of that, so you really got to think about that when you consider, and you got to consider what you're going to be doing with these. Are these going to be things you take to wrestling events? Maybe you want to get something like this because it's going to be cheaper, and you're going to be banging it around and things like that. Or maybe you want to get something heavier that won't get damaged as easy, like the big gold. That 8 millimeter thick plates, they're going to damage something else before they get damaged. This, I don't know. This is only like 2 millimeters, maybe thick. It doesn't bend like very easily. I tried to just to conform it to my waist a bit more, but I wasn't able to really get any purchase on it. But it, it's a lot thinner, and the strap. My main complaint is the strap is just so like it's so stiff. This wouldn't happen with the Fandu Big Gold belt. I understand that's how the replica or the commemorative belts are, though, with the official version, so it may not be that big of a difference, really. You're just going to be looking at the differences in main plate quality. So yeah, there's a lot of problems with this, but if you can get it for under $150, I'd say it's an okay deal for that. Especially if you're a kid from the 80s and early 90s and know that then this is your belt, this is your world championship belt, this is what you think a prestigious prize should look like, then yeah, I gotta say that I can recommend getting a bootleg belt. Kind of hate saying that, not too badly though. WWE is not hurting for money, and I and a lot of other people am, but we still want to, do our hobbies and collect things and stuff like that. And I make sure my support is felt in other ways as well. You can't really get bootleg figures and accessories and shit like that, so there's that. But yeah, anyway, not to get off on a tangent on the ethical shortcomings of buying that kind of stuff, but I like it a lot. Cool. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for watching. I'm John Finn. Make sure you keep collecting however you think it should be done, whether you keep your figures mocking in the box or you open them up to play with them. Just do it the way you like to, and everything's good. And we'll see you next time. John Finn out.